I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown or amuse you and make you laugh? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
I hit the right one? It wouldn't start.
No. Come on, DJ, right
That's
here.
what I did. Good afternoon, villagers, and welcome to another episode of Unapologetic Amateur, Looking for Experts. This afternoon, I'm going to be your guest. Well, really, I'm going to be your host, because our host is Ruby Shivers, who you know, she's a bit under the weather today, but she's with us. Trust me, she's watching every minute, and I'm very honored to have the opportunity to fill in for her this afternoon. My handsome and distinguished guest here is none other than the host of Poetic Speaking, another podcast. But we'll get to him in a minute. First, I want to thank the team, which is Sheila, our producer, Juanita, the promo crew, and, of course, Norm, our engineer. I guess we'll start with, let's see, because I'm new at this, so bear with me. I guess I'll start with talking a little bit about our wonderful guest that we're going to have when he gets here, Mr. McCrae of the Film Festival. He'll explain all about that and the wonderful things that are going on in his camp. But I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Lamar. To Mr. McCrae, right?
Yes.
Mr. McCrae, because I want to hear a little. You're my co-host today. You're filling in my spot. I want to hear a lot about what you're doing and all about your podcast and your mission.
Well, it's truly a pleasure, and I'm always thankful for this opportunity, especially when it comes down to Queen Sister Shiver.
Yes.
Shivers, you know.
Yes.
And that's what's important.
Yes.
Once again, my name is Ron McCrae, and myself and Terry Benjamin, we do our podcast on every Thursday and Sunday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Thursday evening and 5 to 6 on Sunday p.m.
Okay.
And you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. No matter whenever you decide to come on, you will always see us, and we are happy to welcome you and to listen to your comments. So once again, it's truly a pleasure for being here as a co-host today.
That is wonderful, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I guess we will continue our conversation. We will continue our conversation talking about some of what's going on today in the world, especially in the United States. We got a lot going on. And we're going to need not only the prayers, but we're going to need the vision of our host, Ruby Shivers, in looking for experts to really get on top of what's going on in this world. We know all about what happened last week and this gentleman named Charlie Kirk, and the madness that our president, and I say that very lightly, our president is doing, and it's just continued madness. And we really, as a people, have to stand together and go forth and come up with a workable, effective plan to execute a lot of the things that my host and the owner of this podcast is trying to do. She always says we need somebody historical, we need a psychologist, and we need somebody spiritual. We need to bring all the experts to the table who know who we are. We even might even need to put a book together with the language that we understand because they've distorted so much of the English language. And I know that by being a seminary student, how many languages I have to do by just reading the Bible. I have to do Aramaic, I have to do Hebrew, and I have to do Greek and pass by Latin just in order to, distinguish this. So in the meantime, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say some things about what do you think about what's going on?
Oh, there's no words to describe that. I mean, unfortunately, as sad as it is, especially those who are still asleep. I say those who are still asleep, and even from this podcast, Unapologetic. I mean, let's call it straight up. What's going on today is nothing new under the sun. Unfortunately, too many think it's something new, but it's nothing new.
Right.
Because you can see how the wave is moving, especially with this gentleman that everyone, or at least a large percentage of people know about this gentleman, Charlie Kirk, and his background, his attitude, his thoughts about people, especially people of color.
Right.
No matter how you look at it.
Right.
But yet still, he gets a standing ovation.
I can't believe
Something
it.
wrong with this picture.
Right.
And yet, one of the most important things, even with Ruby Shivers on this podcast, always talk about, even with her book, why shouldn't I cry? To the black man.
Yes.
It's time to wake up.
Yes.
We've been through this. Must we continue to go through this over and over again? So the whole thing is today is nothing new. It's about coming together and really understanding what's happening. And just one thing you said, which is so true, it's not about taking our history out of his book.
Right.
Because keep in mind, those are his books.
Right, absolutely.
Our language, our culture, our history is written on the walls of history. When you go back in time, you see, look on the walls of Egypt and Africa, throughout the motherland, you will always find our language.
Absolutely.
And matter of fact, you will even find in the braids of our sisters' head at the time they would look for freedom.
Absolutely.
So that's what's going on because, again, as long as we get caught up in focusing on the mess that's happening, we're losing focus on what we should be doing, and that is really getting ourselves together, come together, and continue to move forward for freedom. That's what's important.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that another thing that Ruby's vision is another reason why I'm here is to teach our young people, to pass the baton of our knowledge. He's trying to get rid of our book. As you said, he could never get rid of our history, but he's trying to get rid of the written book, which he could never do. Because I can tell you one thing, we're always going to have the Bible. And in as much as I know that we're always going to have the Bible, and I tell you, it is us that the Bible speaks about. From the beginning to the end, it is us. The whole Old Testament is black. That I know for sure, until the Greeks and the Romans came in, and then you see a little bit of the white man or the Caucasian man coming in. But I researched all those tribes, and it is us. And now I'm starting to study more Islam. I'm starting to study more Islam now because I know there's only one God. We need to all come together because it is about our people. It is about the melanated people. It is about God's firstborn. And we need to take back what is ours. And we could start with this country. I heard someone say the other day to a European person that was interviewing them, they said, I remember in the days where you used to say, go back to Africa. We're home. I'm here. I'm half Indian, Cherokee. This is my family's country. You and yours go back home. And I thought it was so profound that they would say that because a lot of history that is taught, they want us to believe that we were all slaves coming from Africa, and that's just not the truth. A lot of us are indigenous to this country. My father's half Cherokee Indian, and he's from the North Carolinas. So I have that in my blood. I don't know how much land we own, but I'm certainly going to find out.
Being part of a tribal here in this country, all of this land all of this land belongs to the native Indians.
Absolutely.
No matter how you look at it, whatever tribe you come from, but still this land belongs to all those who are related and directly born of this soil
That's
on this
right.
earth.
Indigenous.
It was invaded, just
Right.
like in Africa. And you said something too, which we often hear, the Caucasian, the white person, the white man, whatever the case you might want to call him, says, well, go back to Africa. Well, my thing is, you never went to Africa to tell all the white people come back to here, this country.
Exactly.
Let me say this right quick, if I may.
Yes, you
One thing I'm a firm believer is that, and I say this, and I hope this conversation on a regular basis. Ask a white person, where is their origin? You see, you have Africans, you have Native Indians, you have Indians, Eastern Indians, you have Arabs, you have Chinese, Japan, or whatever the case may be. But ask a white person, where is your origin? And that's important to understand. Yeah. And even also what you indicate in reference to each and every person, especially those of a color, because it seems like there's more of another culture, know more about your history than you are studying your history. You take the Bible, you take the Quran, and you take the Torah. You find all of that in the Old Testament. But if you read and study the stories, the history, the language, what was said, what God said to people, and then as it was passed on, giving us a second chance with Jesus.
Yes.
Now, you may not follow Jesus, but you may follow Moses.
Yes.
But the bottom line is, you better follow the Savior that's going home.
Absolutely.
Who been here, who tried to save you, get yourself together. But if you keep turning your head, looking the other way, it's going to be too late before you to cry out and ask for your Savior, our Savior, to come and rescue you, because there is doomsday on its way.
And sooner than we think.
Closer.
Sooner than we think.
Absolutely.
Just look around. We are definitely in Revelations. I'm looking at the signs and I'm reading it. And we are definitely there. And that's why I think podcasts like this one and the podcasts like yours are very important to get the word out. I'm working with the young people from this podcast. We have a group of young people from William A. Cap School, Charter School here in Plainfield, and we are working very much with the young people so that they will be very astute in their history. I am so happy that this month, our subject matter is going to be Carter Woodson's book. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about the miseducation of black folks, of our people, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I see if there's a message there.
What's important too with that is the fact that, one, as we also indicated, the history book. First of all, there's too many books that has been written by blacks, whites, and everyone else of the black culture. You'll find those in the library, and I'm quite sure a large percentage of blacks, African American, this culture have books in your house. So if nothing else, in today's present, it's about the community coming together. Every single adult.
Absolutely.
From 13 on up to 913. I say that jokingly, but in all seriousness, those who have risen up through the legacy of time to come together as a village, as we did, to teach the young ones today.
That's our heritage. That is our heritage.
No matter how you look at it.
We have
Bring
to
them to Sunday school.
Yes.
Because I teach Sunday school too.
Wow.
And we also try to influence and encourage the adults to bring your grandkids, the kids, the teens, no matter how you look at it.
Right, bring them.
You cannot complain about anything if you don't learn about something.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important. So again, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I want to be one of your students because you talk about 5 different languages. I'm still working on English.
Well, you know what? It's more so than the language, I find. It's the communication.
Absolutely.
We have to communicate with each other. We have to communicate and transcend the line of generations, because there was information passed down to the beginning. And then they came, and Ruby likes to use the phrase, we're like brain dirty. They've changed, they've lied. As a psychologist, I like to use, we're preconditioned. in this land. I think of, since we're talking biblical, I think of Eshach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I think about when Hezekiah's kingdom was ransacked by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, they changed their names. They did the same thing to us. They changed our name, and they knew that we were royalty. We were just as much royalty from our king's court as was Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
And you know what's important to tie into that? One of the most important things that although their names may have been changed, their heart, their belief, and their spirit never changed. So even when they was locked up in a fiery furnace, and many of us today are locked up in jail, they still believed in. So even when nothing happened to them and they was called and find out what happened, and we sent 3 to jail into the fiery furnace, but now there's 4 in there. So if you believe, your spirit will always be with you. No matter what you go through, no matter what we are going through today.
That's right.
Our spirit is with us. So you're right on point.
And I thank God over and over again for our ancestors, because even my mom, my grandma, all of our ancestors have sowed a seed inside of us. And we carry it, whether it's through the legacy of the things that they taught us, our gifts, our knowledge of who we are. I happen to be an excellent cook. My grandmother from the West Indies, she poured that in me. My grandfather, and from my father's side from the South, I have gifts. We all have gifts. And this is what this podcast is about, bringing all of those gifts to the table. But we need specifics in order to really make progress in the healing, because what they dealt with was conditioning our mind to believe a lie. And the Bible says, whose report will you believe? And that's what it's boiling down to today. There's a line drawn in the sand today, because look at this nonsense of celebration about this bigot who died. No one should be killed. I don't believe anybody should be killed the way he was killed or assassinated on any level. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And he offended somebody with his tongue. Well, what are you going to do?
As you know, they crucified Jesus. He didn't do anything. He was trying to help people.
Right.
They crucified King and Malcolm and many others. Harriet Tubman, they're still looking for her, but the bottom line, like you said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And that's been going on since the beginning of time.
Absolutely.
Look at your history. If you don't read or understand your history, that's fine. But this is why we have a culture of people, brothers and sisters, young, middle, and seasoned seniors, to tell the story. Listen to the story. That's what's missing.
Absolutely, I
kids
agree
being
with
able to sit down and listen to the stories of their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, no matter how you look at it.
Absolutely.
You see, that's what's missing. And so it's not about you thinking you're free, because you're not free.
Right.
Not if you see all this catastrophic stuff going on.
Absolutely.
You're running for shelter.
Absolutely.
Now you don't even know where to hide.
Absolutely. I dread what's going to happen with our people if they don't get on board. And that's what I love about this podcast. That's what I love about it, because we are on the front lines trying to reach our people and our children, because they have to carry that torch. We have to deposit that information in them, and we have to let them know that not only are you not everything that they said you were, but you're that and more. Genetically, they came from you, and they're a mutation. You're not. They came out of the caves. They procreated with Neanderthals, and I think some of the fallen angels. I'm just not finished with my research yet. But I tell you this, we melanated people are God's firstborn. And if you know anything about Jewish history, you will know that the firstborn held all the treasure. And when the Bible said that God has treasures in earthen vessels, I think we're the ones that look like the earthen vessels.
And ask Jacob when he tried to fight with Gabriel. I mean, the angel. No matter how you look at it, until he got hit in the wrong place.
Right.
At least he thought it was the right place, but the wrong place knocked him to his knees.
Right.
And he had to apologize. This is the exact same thing even today. Don't let something or someone or the spirit hit you where you don't expect it and
Right.
knock you to your knees.
Right.
Wake up, people.
What
It's
is
all
it going to take?
What is it going to take?
What is it going to
You
take?
got to wake up now.
And what is it going to take for our leaders, black leaders? A lot of them are speaking up now. I hear them speaking up. I hear them coming together. But Ruby asked, she's been asking for weeks. She said that she was going to find a way to ask white women, what is wrong with your men? Because they are just terrible. What is wrong? The evil that has been bestowed in this earth has been done by those people, those European, indigenous to the European. I think they're directly from the Tower of Babel, if you ask me. But I'm going to ask, my thing is to ask not only what is wrong with your people, but what is wrong with your Christian leaders? All of those white evangelicals, and I'm going to mention one, Huckabee was his name, Huckabee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. What are they teaching? I believe a lot of them knew the truth and withheld it from their congregations.
Well, and you're right on point. Because what's important is the fact that they only doing what is allowed of them to do. When you look at and study the word and your history, when you're trying to do good, somebody's there to try to pull you down and redirect you.
Yes.
As long as you stay focused on the negative, the darkness of evil, it will always draw you in. Keep in mind to everybody, as my sister here said, you see, light comes from darkness. Positive comes from negativity, no matter how you look at it. But if you don't realize and recognize the positive of what life is to you, then you allow yourself to be drawn back into the negativity of darkness. And here's one thing, too. Jesus said, to be in the world and not of it.
Absolutely.
Too many has to get out of the way of being of the world.
Absolutely.
If you're in it, you can see what's going on, and everything that's happening, as you mentioned, is going on right in front of you.
Absolutely.
And yet you sleep with your eyes open.
Yes,
Wake up.
Yes. And that's what we're here for. I believe that's what you're doing, this podcast is doing, and many others. I know that a lot of black leaders, I think Jamal Warner, he's calling. I remember when he first started out, I used to see him as a young man on, do you remember we used to have State of the Black Church on C-SPAN?
Right.
I used to take the day off every year and sit there for 8 hours and put it all on VHS tapes. You remember those big?
Yeah.
And I was going through that again a couple of weeks ago to see, had the narrative changed. Do you know the narrative has not changed? God's word has not changed from that day to this. But the leaders are few. They're not the leaders that come together with the strength that they once had. But I believe that that power has been dispersed to all of us now. We all have a part to do. And I believe we need to call everybody to accountability. We need them. We really do.
And to do that, which is true, that must take place today. Harriet Tubman said, I'm going to be free. She didn't think about it. She didn't hesitate. She said, I'm going to be free today.
Right.
Going that way. The only way you're going to be free is that you go this way with me, or I'm going
Right.
to kill you right now. What's so sad is today, as you indicated, where the black leaders once came together back then under conditions we cannot begin to imagine.
Yes.
Only those older than me, whatever the case may be, when you look back as a child, you remember what was going on then. But the blacks came together, even churches.
Absolutely.
Now, since this is the podcast of Unapologetic,
Yes.
let me call a spade, if I may. You see, what's happening is
Go
the
right
fact
ahead.
that a lot of churches have fallen to the weakness of
Yes,
evil
they
and darkness.
have.
Where the heck, you can't preach the word, teach the word, and yet you don't follow the word.
Please.
You don't implement that word into the people, your congregation. Get them, wake up. No matter how you look at it. Because Jesus, when he came out of the Garden of Gethsemane, he said to Peter, you can't stay awake for 1 hour.
Right.
And here, our people are asleep each and every day.
Absolutely.
Lollygagging around here while everything is unfolding in front of you.
Absolutely.
The system is taken from you, your
Absolutely.
money, your education, your clothes. And here, I'm sorry,
Go right ahead.
Let me say this.
Teach them.
Here, every single second, your president, I say your president, is dismantling the black leaders who have not done anything but fight in war. How is it that you just arbitrarily just fire a 4-star black general.
I
Fire
know.
black judges. Fire black leaders.
Absolutely.
Fire this person. Fire, and everybody is black. And keep in mind, he said it publicly. I could walk down the middle of Broadway and
Yes.
shoot somebody and nothing won't happen.
Yes.
Who is he talking about?
Us.
Thank you.
And the thing about it is, what have we done about it to back up those people?
That's
We
the
have
issue.
not taken a stand. It's like we're paralyzed. We have to find a way to unite. I mean, like sometimes I am so angry I want to go out there myself and make it known. And I don't even care. It is time we have to come together and do something about it. Okay, so, you know, I'm just, I mean, I can say some things, but I don't want to get in trouble. They censure everything you say today. Everything is being censored today, but we have to speak up. The time is now. So, okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and sharing because, I mean, we have to speak up. And now this is our time now that Norm is going to bring on information, pieces that we need. And at any time, Norm, you can let it go. We're anxious to hear and be informed. We've been showing some great clips, and everybody's becoming more and more informed about what is going on, not only in the motherland, but what's going on here. So are you ready, Norm?
This out there and put this out there right now. The white Jews that you and I have honored and been taught all these years are God's chosen people is an absolute lie. They are imposters. They are fake. They are descendants of the Romans that rose up into power in between the New Testament and the Old Testament that we as Christians believe was the Dark Ages, but God was speaking. We have been duped to believe that our black family members are low-life monsters created to be slaves and nothing more than that. But the truth is the absolute opposite. They are the chosen of God. They are the chosen of Yah. And God, even the God that we say we call upon in Christianity, is coming back to redeem his people. And it makes it very clear that the nation that held his people in slavery are going to fall, much like Pharaoh fell when he refused.
Back on the African American people in America. I think how they were taken against their wills, put in the belly of ships, brought over here, beat, cussed. Many of them died in the guts of those ships, thrown overboard. They were pulled from families over there. If you're one of those people that you got a problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth, because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth. I know some of you was raised in the deep South. You was raised by prejudiced people and bigoted people. You better get that out of your system. You better get it out of your system. It'll cause you to suffer. Right along with those masters. These are God's people. God knows what happened to the black race. He knows how they wound up over here. And God is going to reimburse the black people for all their trouble.
Hi. What did you say to me? You said you read Deuteronomy.
Put this out there and put this out there right now. The white Jews that you and I have honored and been.
Okay, that's all you have for us, Norm? Yes. What a mouthful. What a mouthful. What a mouthful. What do you think about that? What are your
Absolutely.
thoughts?
We know it. And as we, even in our introduction and a short conversation we had, we tried to instill on a regular basis the people who are asleep to wake up. It's a wake-up call now. And as the gentleman was saying, you see, not only in Deuteronomy, but if you go to 2 Chronicles 14,
Yes.
My people who are called by my name, if they just humble themselves and turn from the wicked ways, then they will hear from heaven. Turn from your wicked ways. And let's just say this right quick. Your wickedness is in the mindset of your own brain. If you're not thinking, if you're not awake, then you conforming to the darkness of this world.
Absolutely.
You're conforming to evil.
Absolutely.
And so, yes, they are right.
They don't
Read the
understand.
history.
I believe a lot of them are willfully doing what they do because they're not speaking. I've always said that the word of God is speaking to those that know him. He's speaking to those right in that church. Right in that church.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he will heal our land. And I sit there all the time in church, and I go to a really big church, and I say the same thing that you say. What Bible are they reading? The answers are in there, what we need to do to hear from God, to move his hand.
And you know,
I don't get it.
every Bible, regardless of how it is written, I say this for many years, and I even told my kids and grandkids, read the story. The story never changed.
Right.
The characters never changed.
Right.
The story never changed. The places never changed. I don't care what kind of words you put in there, change the narratives or whatever. You cannot change the story.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's impossible.
Right.
Because every book that is written on the face of the earth, I don't care, we write books or whatever, everything that is written from the story of the Bible. Only thing you have to do, go back and you'll see the exact same thing unfold.
Absolutely. Brother, I know that you're telling the truth. I've watched the History Channel since, what is it? Not 1980. When did the History Channel come out? 1980. Since 1980, I've watched the History Channel, and the first 15 years is all about biblical archaeology. All of it. So I've been inside those tombs in Egypt. And do you know, I don't know how many people are aware of this, but we read in the Bible about Moses and him standing at the burning bush, and God says that, he said, who should I say that you are? And he says that God says, I am that I am. Well, guess what? In the tomb of Mechancon, I hope I'm pronouncing that king's name right. He was I don't know how many years he ruled prior to the knowledge of Moses, but it is written on the walls of Egypt. You read it. It means, when I did the research on the phrase put, it meant I am that I am. So it was there. It was there even before our Bible was written.
He said it to Moses. Moses said, who shall I say? He said, tell them I am that I am. Mm-hmm. And even today, no matter what language, no matter who you believe, God is saying, whether you call him by Allah, Jesus, or God Almighty, whatever, he said, I am that I am.
Right.
That right there says that I am the one who created the heavens and the earth. Right. I am the beginning and the end.
Right.
No matter how you look at it. So we are in the middle, and we're supposed to be the plant, the seeds of life.
Absolutely.
You have seeds, you have plants, you give us the water. No matter how you look at it, he has given you everything to sustain you in the moment.
Absolutely.
And so there's no excuse, but you talking about you hungry, you wake up, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's impossible.
Yes.
The only thing that causes that destruction is your own thinking.
Yes.
And matter of fact, Paul said, you become a new person by the renewing of your mind.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And it's important to, it really is important to get that out there. And I appreciate all the things that you are sharing. We're on the same page.
Absolutely.
And we want our people to be, because this is the only way we're going to get anything done. So I believe our guest is here, but I need to ask the engineer, do you have another piece you want to share with us? We're getting so much information from that. Okay. And I want to thank my co-host here, who's doing a phenomenal job. I'm learning so much for him. You're going to have to bring you here again.
I want to learn.
So angry. You have the White House. You have both houses of Congress. You have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs, even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI, as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so Angry. What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? Also angry. You have the White House. You have both houses of Congress. You have a...
Wow, my villagers, there are just so much going on in this world. I just want to make one little comment about something she said. She said, what are you so angry about? I'd like to take the liberty to just share my thoughts on that real quick. You know what they're angry about? Their facade is coming down. Anytime you hold the facade up for so long and execute it, it gets heavy. That facade is coming down and they're being found out. And I'm quite sure other people have other thoughts on that, but we will explore that further as time go on. But what she said was so important. Now I want to introduce our distinguished guest. And I heard so much about you, Mr. Is it Markson? Maxon. Yes. From the Queen City Film Festival, and I know you got a lot to say. I just want to say welcome on behalf of everybody here.
Thank you.
We welcome you, and without further ado, we're going to let you have that mic as long as you want.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to apologize for my tardiness. It's been quite a difficult weekend. I want to start this segment off with a dedication to our friend Omar Griffin, who passed away yesterday. And so my message to everyone, and this has nothing to do with the film festival, is to monitor your health. A 45-year-old friend, 11 years younger than me, lost his life yesterday due to some heart difficulties, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and the impact throughout the community is deep, and we're shell-shocked by his loss. So if there's anything that you hear from me today, it is pay attention to your personal health.
Wow.
Make sure that you are getting checkups. Make sure that you are following the doctor's plan or their advice, that you are taking your medication, that you are walking, that you are staying away from sugar and nicotine and alcohol and all those things that might hamper your longevity. We don't have a lot of time. And as you just heard moments ago from the great Joy Reid, there are other forces at play
Absolutely.
that are trying to take us off the map. So why wouldn't we do everything that we could to be the best and be the strongest and last the longest that we could be? So I appreciate you giving me the moment to say that.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
shifting gears, yes, the Queen City Film Festival. I'm back. I've been here before to talk about it. I thought that this year was particularly important to talk about the issues, and firstly to talk about our 8th year, our 8th celebration.
Fantastic. Wow.
8 years.
Congrats.
We've been at it for 8 years. And those who don't know, just follow along with me. You can go to our website right now, www.qcffnj.com. That's qcffnj.com. And so the film festival is a 4-day international destination for filmmakers. We receive films from all over the world. And of course, we like to promote filmmakers and creatives from New Jersey and Plainfield, if we can find filmmakers from Plainfield who want to submit their films. But we attract filmmakers from all over the world to come here for 4 days to screen their independent work, to screen their short films, their documentaries, their full features. But it's also an opportunity for them to meet other professionals,
Absolutely.
other creatives from across the board, of many different experiences and levels. We've just recently had not only one Oscar winner, but we've had 2 Oscar nominees
Wow.
come to the city
Wow.
to be a part of the film festival, to show their work, to talk about their experiences. So that's just a little bit of what you'll find at the Queen City Film Festival. It is the most important place for filmmakers like myself, filmmakers of my background, Latin, Asian, female filmmakers. These are all the genres and the categories of filmmakers that don't get a lot of shine.
Right.
Like you hear about the Ava DuVernays and the, different filmmakers who have made it to the top of the chart. But often that road to get there is fraught with a lot of difficulty, a lot of no's. And what the Queen City Film Festival is here to do is to create more opportunities for filmmakers to present their work.
That is wonderful. That is just wonderful, wonderful. So what are some projects that you have going right now?
Oh my God. So it's all about film festival right now. I mean, when I tell you that it is all consuming, this year we have 32 films.
Wow.
From 4 different countries.
Wow.
And that's not a large number. That's actually a moderate number.
Wow.
Considering it's a 4-day event. In the past, we've had up to 60 during that time frame. But what we want to do is create an event that has breadth, like gives the filmmakers time to rest, to network, to talk to one another. We've created other opportunities for career advancement. And so that's my main project right now.
Wow. That's a lot.
It really is. I mean, I serve as the chairman of the Union County Film Commission. And so I've been doing that for a number of years. And part of my responsibility, day-to-day responsibility, is to help usher in all of the wonderful film projects that you see going on in and around Union County, particularly some of the big projects that people have seen in Plainfield. I've worked with the New Jersey Film Commission, our partners at the NJEDA, to bring these large projects to the city of Plainfield.
Wow.
So that's my daily rigmarole, right? But my passion project is to continue to grow the film festival, to create that ecosystem for film producers, film directors, cinematographers, actors and actresses, so that we have a place within this growing economy of filmmaking that's taking place, this boom of film industry in the state of New Jersey.
That is just so fantastic. That is so fantastic.
Thank you.
You got any questions for him?
First of all, I applaud you.
Thank
It
you,
is
brother.
truly a blessing because we cannot sit here on any podcast, especially a black podcast, talk about what we need to do. I always say, what are we doing now?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Forget what somebody should be doing. What are
Right.
we doing? Because you are a pivotal point right now in what you are doing. You are a piece of the pie. You are a connection. And as you indicated, and I stand corrected, everybody looking for an opportunity because everybody that's at the top started at the bottom somewhere.
Right.
Right.
And one of the things I said on that podcast, and I have a book, a poetry, And the title of that one is Archaeological Cafe, The Hidden Treasure Within Inside You.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
means all your
like
gifts
that.
and talent, thoughts, even when you think you don't have anything, it's
Right.
inside of you. Only thing you have to do is dig inside
Right.
and pull it out.
Right.
So I commend you
Thank
for
you.
this opportunity. And matter of fact, I'm thankful for even being here, just to even meet you and
Yes,
listen
me
to
too,
it.
me
I mean,
too.
Thank you.
believe me, no matter
Thank
how
you.
you look at it.
Thank
So
you.
that's what's important. So today, as we continue to move forward, and I definitely want to be part of this, I'd like to get more information and
Yes.
see how
Sure.
documentary, as you mentioned, and film and whatnot. How does one give it into your hands to help put it on another platform?
Sure. So the film festival is its own machine. So typically we're at the end of our cycle now. October is the big event. And I'll talk about the different days and what's going on. And I don't know if Norm can bring up the website. Maybe we can see that on the screen. But the festival starts essentially as soon as we end the event. So this year the festival is from October 16th through October 19th. It encompasses multiple venues throughout the city of Plainfield and around the city of Plainfield, of course, because we don't have a movie theater in Plainfield anymore.
Right.
But those who know and have been around long enough knew there was at least up to 4 movie theaters
knew
in
2.
town.
Yeah.
And there were 2
Yeah.
that I definitely visited when I was a youth, the Strand Theater and the Liberty Theater.
Right. Those
But,
are the 2.
but now we only have Cinemark, right, as a movie house, which is on Route 22. And then, so we will be in Cinemark on day 2, which is Saturday, October 18th, for a full day of films. But we start off our day on Thursday, the 16th, with a book discussion and signing with the great Pulitzer Prize-winning author Tamara Payne, who wrote the book
Yes.
The Dead Are Rising.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
That
we
is the
have it.
flyer.
Yes.
And so that is particularly poignant and pivotal to the theme of this year's festival, which is perseverance.
Yes. We were just talking
And
about
so
that.
ushering in our event with a book signing by Tamara Payne about the great Malcolm X during his centennial sets the tone. And it's not a film, it's a book. And we will show a short film about Malcolm X during that event, which will take place at Sindel's bookstore and at the Queen City Coffee House right on Watchung Avenue. And then later on that evening, which is Thursday, October 16th, we will also do a live podcast of the OW Show, which is a BKS1 favorite. Only women, what is it again? Only outstanding women who help heal.
Wow.
So it's changed over the years, but I know it's an incredibly positive show led by LaToya Dawson and B. Ruffin, Basima, and they have a dynamic podcast that includes relationship themes and leadership themes and entrepreneurial themes. And so that's our day 1. That's how we're going to kick it off and set the tone for the remaining days. Our day 2, which is Friday, is a grand gala. That's our opening night event. We have a cocktail reception. We'll have some awards presentations. And I got to tell you, this year, the awards are just absolutely fantastic. We are going to honor the great Notori Naughton, who is an actress and a director, and she's on the show Power. She was on the show Queens. She played Little Kim in the Notorious B.I.G. Biopic, and she's from East Orange.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So she's going to be coming here, and we'll present her with the Vanguard Award. We will also be honoring the great actor Marcus Taylor, who is a icon from the city of Plainfield, who played the great Suge Knight, or should I say the nefarious Suge Knight, right? I shouldn't even say the great Norm. That's kind of like crazy.
No, not
but,
great.
but the nefarious Suge Knight. But Marcus Taylor embodied him in such a great way and he made such an impact on the industry just on that one movie. And he's been in dozens and dozens of movies, and he lives in Plainfield. So we're going to give him the Achievement Award for all he has done in the film business over the course of his career. We will also honor a production team duo by the name of Sonia Armstead and Rochelle Brown. They are a production team that they run a company called Powerhouse Productions. And Powerhouse Productions
I've heard of them.
They are out of East Orange as well. They are an amazing duo. But to break it down, they're literally, the two of them are responsible for the success of the Food Network, Centric. They started Emeril Lagasse's career, the great chef, Emeril Lagasse, Marcus Samuelson, Chef Gennard. They are currently producing shows on Centric, BET. Yeah. They were responsible for the Patti LaBelle show. And they have just done a number and a multitude of things over time. And they're right from New Jersey. Yeah. Sonia's from Linden, out of Union County. Rochelle's out of Essex County. So our goal, as you can see, as I continue to talk, you can see that we're about finding talent from New Jersey, about finding the greatest, the most latest, and up-to-date people from New Jersey who are involved in film and television production, and give them a platform. Absolutely. And give them a space. And then we invite people from all around the world to come and celebrate them, as well as the projects that have been offered to us and that have gone through the matriculation project. So let me stop right there and answer your question. How do people submit creative work to the film festival? We have a website, qcffnj.com. And at the end of the festival cycle, we take a little break, and then we open it up for submissions that first month after the festival. So this year it will be at the end of November. We'll open up our doors for submissions, and you can go to the website, and there's a link there that will say submit your film, and you can submit it and go through the process of filling in all the dots and crossing the T's and et cetera and so forth, and make sure that you're in the right format and that you've given us all of the materials that we asked for. And then you wait. Wow. And you wait. And you wait. This. Yes, sir.
I am trash, and I'm glad you came to find me. Now I'm treasure. No matter how you look at it.
Right on.
So this is
fantastic. This is fantastic. I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Please, fire away.
Did you finish?
Just a half a second. Because what you said is so important, and I'm a firm believer. There is so many of us in our culture, that are hidden, but not hidden.
Absolutely.
So too many don't know who's who, what's what.
Right.
I agree with you. There's too much talent and treasure that comes from out of your community here in New Jersey. No matter how you look at it. Unfortunately, too many don't want to go back in the community and search for that. It's hidden.
Right.
If we do that, you'd be surprised that those that you watch on TV and on somebody else's platform, especially the white man. Yeah. But anyway, you say, wait a minute, I know them. I grew up with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like to meet and shake your hand, say hello.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, that's what's so important, especially to the kids today and the teenagers, because they are the ones today who's going to be the future tomorrow.
That's right.
If they don't have the opportunity to meet somebody that they live next door to play with, or even on the basketball court, because when I was coming up, we used to do that.
Yep.
But where has it gone?
Right.
And so again, we got to come together.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's literally who I am. I'm pretty unassuming. Norm knows me. I've been around for 109 years now, right? I grew up in Plainfield.
Oh, you look so
I
young.
grew up on Putnam Ave, you know.
Oh, wow.
I used to literally walk from Putnam Avenue to the Liberty Theater every Saturday or Sunday and check out the double features. And that's where my dream started, right? That's where my pursuit of being involved in film started. It was right there. And I'd go watch a karate movie and a horror movie after church. And I'd make my mom rush home from church so I could get to the movies on time. But that being said, I didn't know anybody like me. I'm a member of the Directors Guild of America. I'm a seasoned producer and assistant director. It took me many, many years to be able to achieve that and to be able to say that. The Directors Guild of America is a union. It's an association. It's a very small number of professionals in that organization worldwide, you know, less than 2,000, 3,000. And black members, they're less than hundreds.
Wow.
It's a very small number. So it wasn't, there were not a lot of me walking around for me to meet. However, when you're growing up, there were doctors, lawyers, firemen, all kinds of business people, and you had those examples right in front of you. But for me, because of the business that I'm in, I realized that there's not a lot of representation still right now to this day. So my calling is to show young people how to make that transition from, and it's really, it's different now because young people's goals are skewed because of the social media platforms, and we're part of an instant gratification sort of society now. So they don't realize how the path to success and the steps that one must take. So another thing that we do is we create youth programs and after-school programs specifically entitled the Film Future Club.
Wow.
That gives back to the young people by teaching them these techniques and these business practices that will take you to these places that I'm talking about. And why that is relevant right now, and if we can just close the circle on why the film festival is important and how it connects to the state of New Jersey and what's going on in the state. Netflix just built they're building a huge facility at Fort Monmouth in South Jersey. Lionsgate Studio is building a huge facility on the border of Elizabeth and Newark. That's thousands of jobs if we're ready, if we're prepared, if we can see that economic development, because otherwise they're bringing people from other states.
And perceive that vision.
Yeah, we have to have the idea that it's possible to do, and then we have to build the roadmap and the roadway for our workforce, which is AKA our young people, to go from, I just graduated from high school, I'm going to college, how do I get an internship at Netflix? How do I get an internship at Lionsgate? Because I'm telling you, that's the path that you're going to be able to transfer all of your dreams into reality. And it starts right here on, I'm not going to say the name of this street, but you know the name of this street. You know where this is. Main Street, USA. Front Street, downtown. Watchung Ave. It starts right there. That's where it starts.
You know, because I know we don't have that much time, but let me just say this right quick.
Yes,
and I'm a firm believer, unapologetic, as the podcast says. But one of the most important things I say on a regular basis, and I'm very serious about it, when I say we don't own anything, we don't have our own. Yesterday we did, as you indicated, black doctors and lawyers all around New Jersey, all professionals and whatnot. AT&T. But today, with all those who have risen up to a different level to become, to earn their wealth, and we don't own a damn thing. which means, as you indicated, how come we didn't buy a piece of land like Fort Monmouth or Fort Dix or in Newark and build it? Why should we wait till somebody else from the outside come in to build something on your land to give us a job when in fact we were doing it long before?
Absolutely.
There were filmmakers, black filmmakers way back in 1920, 1800, whenever.
Well, Oscar Micheaux was the greatest of our kind to do it, in that what you're talking about, one of the great pioneers of black entrepreneurialism and self-starting. And I can tell you he's one of my idols, one of my heroes. And specifically the Queen City Film Festival was born out of that need to have our own. We were making movies in Plainfield, specifically. I made probably 7 or 8 films over time in the city. I've done a lot here in town, including bring large-scale television shows to town, let them use Plainfield as a backdrop. You know, I've been on the production teams of many large productions. But one, after being on those large productions, and they air and they keep airing, I don't get any residual from that. I don't get any extra money from that. And so it caused me to say, oh, you should make your own stuff so you can own it. It's like having your own catalog. So I started making my own work here, hiring people from around here, training people from around here. And I built a real production company that was able to make really high quality film.
Well,
right?
we're going to
and
have
products.
to definitely bring you back.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
tell
I'm
you,
going to wrap it up. I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to be real quick. So the point is that we were able to, from there, after having these projects, say, well, nobody from around here has ever seen this work. How do we do it? So we just rented what is now the PPAC, the Plainfield Performing Arts Center. It had just opened, and we decided we were going to show our movies there and invite our friends and family. It was a 4-hour event, one day, and 8 years later, it's 4 days, and it's dozens and dozens of films from all over the world. And it's a nonprofit organization now. So we've pushed it to that space where we own that territory now.
Okay.
We have carved that out for Black, brown, and other filmmakers from across the universe to come here, 1, to get their stuff on the big screen, 2, to see how great my hometown is. Because I'm tired of people talking about Plainfield like it's trash. It's not.
Well,
it's one of the greatest places in the world.
We have to get busy and do the work.
That's it.
And you know what? We're going to have to bring you back because our time is really at the end, and we really have to go. However, you said such a mouthful. In the little bit of time you was here, it was like I couldn't even absorb all you said. We're going to have to bring you back. So we're just going to have to say, I hate to wrap it up, but I have to do it.
All good.
My boss is pointing the finger at me.
I see him behind the wall.
Great show. Great show. Great co-host.
It was truly a pleasure.
Thank you, villagers, for being dedicated and being there for us. And we're definitely going to keep Ruby in prayer. She's going to be here next week. Don't even worry about it. She'll be here. And I'll be, Lord willing, in my seat. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in for us today.
Got one more thing.
One more.
Close
quick.
Follow us at Queen City Film Fest NJ on Instagram, on Facebook. Visit our website, www.qcffnj.com, and we'll see you October 16th to the 19th.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
And be there.
Be there. Thank you. I appreciate the time.